My name is James Williams Jr. and this is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So I was checking my random video and I wanted to address bullying in general. Bullying, by definition, I have no idea what it truly means, but bullying, and I will give you the definition as soon as I Google it. Um, Bullying seems to be a thing that no matter what we do, it's almost like racism. It never really goes away. So I Googled it. Listen carefully. Oh, I turned my volume down. Fucking technology. When it works, it works.
Bully. 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 Bully.
Okay, well, apparently Google is not going to give me the definition, so I'll just read what I have here.
Bully. 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 Bully.
Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that.
Bully.
Bullying. Use of superior strength and influence to intimidate someone, typically to force him or her to do what one wants. Local man was bullied into helping them. Synonyms: pursuit, oppress, transize, browbeat, harass, torment, intimidate, strong arm, donate, and then there's more. But apparently this thing only says,
bully.
Say it one more time.
Bully.
One more time.
Bully. 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 Bully.
Of course, this tech doesn't work as fast as my finger.
Bully.
That being said, I'm going to cut my volume back down. I want to address bullying because I pointed this out at school yesterday about how I was bullied all through grade school and high school, and not just on a short man complex level, but on a racial level and things like that. There are many different types of bullying. So in my case, I got the whole world of bullying. I was bullied for being short in school, like from grade school through high school. I was bullied for not being able to get girls from grade school to high school. I was bullied because I didn't fit in from grade school to high school. It more or less started in middle school with the not fitting in thing. No, it actually did start in grade school because when they found out that I was of multiculturalness, it only got worse. And when you got kids from grade school that didn't know you, and each school eventually inverts to all the main high schools and middle schools. So the kids coming in didn't know what you were, but the kids that were going with you knew what they were, and allegiance or alliances tend to change. So if you're not one of the cool kids, which I've never been a cool kid, I will never be a cool person. I can only just be one person, and that's me. Which is another reason why acting is important, because then you get to be people that you aren't. So when we had our little race war in school, it was whose side are you fighting on, James, the black side or the white side? And that, when we got into the 5th grade and found out I was part of Native American, it's like, oh, well, that explains you. So, being that Native Americans have probably had it the worst of all cultures here in America, that, people tended to not like me. And then when it came down to, sorry, Days of Our Lives got me on. I thought I muted. Okay, I did mute it, but that's probably the TV in there. Anyway, the thing with bullying is that, just like racism, no one really wants to sit down and address the target of why this shit happens. And the reason this happens, bullying happens for at least 3 reasons that I can point out. 1, the child's having some issues at home. 2, the child has an inferiority complex and they use their size to their advantage and feel that, I can pick on you because you're not going to do anything to me because I'm bigger than you. And one of my fellow students, he didn't see anything wrong with bullying, but he's also a big guy. And another one of my fellow students, who's also a big guy, says that big guys get bullied too. So I guess it's a cycle that hits every dichotomy of people. But since I've always been short, and I've always been bullied, but I've also always been a fighter. I've never fought in school unless it was necessary, but that's because of martial art training. But before martial art training, I did fight in the streets because I come from a family where you either gotta fight or you're going to get your ass beat. If you fight and you lose, you're going to get your ass beat. So you better win, and that's pretty much how it was. I will never raise my kids the way I was raised. I will hope to raise them better. I will teach them how to fight, but I will not force them to fight. If that doesn't make sense to you, you are not of color and you were not raised in the late 70s, early 80s, and the 90s. I was born in 73, so from like 79 to like 85, however old I was when I stopped fighting at 12 when my dad made me stop. Literally made me stop in a fight. I have sought atonement, and I have got it from at least one person. In fact, that one person, I have apologized so many times that they told me that if I said I was sorry one more time, they would actually shoot me to shut me the fuck up. So that being said, I'm not a saint. I think that as time has gone by, bullying has jumped across genders, and now more girls are bullying girls and boys than boys just bullying boys or picking on the smart girl in class until she grows boobs, and then everybody wants to have sex with her. But for medicinal purposes, bullying in general is generally the big guy picking on the small guy. It's rarely the small guy picking on the big guy. However, that works for the chicks too. Bullyings also lead to very bad things. Bullying leads to suicide. Bullying leads to self-hatred. Bullying leads to things that have kids doing things that we didn't do as kids because, I thought of suicide many a times, but I never actually thought that I would ever go through with it. However, there are kids that reach fuck it and literally go through with it. This generally works on kids of color that have been adopted. This works on kids that are like high intelligence but like low self structure. I'm not saying like self esteem, but like in the social structure they have no self worth. Where they can be very smart in school, but that gives them something to be picked on about. Where people don't respect the genius that they are, and they don't have enough. They don't have enough self awareness to not um appreciate what they have, and then they are weak minded enough that they take what everybody else says serious and kill themselves. And I've been there too. I've been to the point where I've been like, damn, I get picked on at school so much I just want to fucking die. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. And then I get up and I go to school and I would just endure it. But I also caught some reality checks. Like, hold on. I know martial arts. I can take it. They can say all that shit they want because it's just talk. And it takes a lot to get to that point for some kids. Some kids never get to that point. And the pressure to kill themselves when they literally have kids telling them on social media or in their face every day, you should just die. You should just die. Nobody loves you. You should just die. Well, I'm here to say, fuck that. If they're telling you that, don't be afraid to tell. Don't be afraid to tell. I was afraid to tell. But I really didn't have to tell because in the classes that I was bullied in, the teachers fucking watched the shit happen. Which goes back to, no one wants to address that elephant in the room. No one is brave enough to tell the kids, you don't have to take that. And then no school system will throw the kids out of school. I was bullied by jocks. Like mad jocks, big jocks. All the jocks that bullied me were 5'9" and up. There was no short jock that fucked with me. Now the thing is, the jocks knew that I was a chicken shit and that I would not fight in school. Now, they also knew that I have two personalities. I have that behavior ass while you're in school personality because my mom was not afraid to beat somebody's ass. By somebody, I mean me. And there was, I'm outside of school. Talk your shit now. That was my real personality, which the people who generally talk their shit won't come and fight you outside of school. Ladies, please don't be offended by the words that's about to come out my mouth because I normally don't use this word. But a bully is just a bitch upside down. They can talk a lot of shit while they're with people, but when you catch them by themselves, They ain't so brave one-on-one. Some of you out there know exactly who you are and who I'm talking about and be in our market. Just to get that out there. Another thing about bullying is that no one wants to address this. School administrators, school board, school faculty, students. No one wants to address it because of the reaction factor. Well, here, what the fuck the reaction factor is to a kid that hung herself, or a kid that threw himself in front of a vehicle or jumped off of a bridge because people every day picked on them and no one addresses it until they die. You get threats on social media. Go kill yourself. Go jump off a lake. Go do this. Go do that. And kids take this shit seriously and then they do this. When I was in school, my teacher in biology class watched kids bully me the entire semester. And then I brought my nunchucks to school. These nunchucks. And I said that I wasn't going to be bullied that day. And when they started in on me, I told Miss Jones, that's the teacher, yeah, I'm throwing your ass under the bus because you didn't do your job. You didn't protect me. I had to protect myself. So I'm throwing you under the damn bus. And I told her that when that damn bell rings, these guys ain't playing sports no more. Put my nunchucks out, said these nunchucks right here, I'm fucking all of them up. They not leaving this room in one piece. Said now they may fuck me up, but they gonna remember me. Then I thought about it. I said, nah, you know what? I can go to jail if I use these. So I threw them back in the bag. I said, nah, zip the bag up. I said, you know what's gonna happen? I want to taste blood, and I'm gonna enjoy this ass whooping that I'm gonna throw them. I may get my ass beat in the process. And that's fine. So, that being said, nothing went down. Except for this. The bell did ring. I threw my bag out in the hallway. And I posted up in front of that bag. Just in case. To have my 7 bullies in that class run from me, the smallest guy in the class, the light-skinned dude in the class, the only mixed kid in the class, to have them run from me kind of surprised me. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I honestly thought that they were all going to jump me and whoop my ass. Because they was talking about bum rushing. We going to bum rush you. I was like, okay, I'm ready for that. So all I got to do is get the biggest one down first. I said, the first one comes in is the first one that gets fucked up. So bum rush that. And I was expecting to be bum rushed. For those who have no idea what the bum rush is, the bum rush is when a bunch of people gather together and run at their intended target. Most of the time, the bum rush is very successful, unless you're the first guy that gets hit. And if you get hit and get dead, that might actually slow down the bum rush process because people might not know where the hell you hit that guy or what you hit that person with. Moving on. I got a referral from the teacher. Those guys, not even a slap on the wrist. Nothing. Never got punished for it. Which goes back to what I said. No one wants to address it. So why does this happen? I said at the beginning of the video. No one wants to address it. Not the faculty, not the staff, not the lady in the cafeteria. No one. And some people think, okay, it's fine. It's boys being boys. But how far is boys being boys when it comes to boys managing to go home and commit suicide because they can't take it anymore? Because mixed pride and shame won't let them tell their parents because they're scared their parents are going to feel some kind of way about them being bullied. I was bullied. I never told my dad I was bullied. I never told my mom I was bullied. I dealt with it until I couldn't. And when I couldn't was when I decided that I reached fuck it and took my nunchucks to school. Which again was another way of me dealing with it. So why am I making this video? Because the other day at school, which was technically yesterday, so still fresh, one of my fellow soldiers also in my class, not from my platoon or anything, but he was a vet. And he was telling me, he thinks it's okay when you grew up in a world where boys can punch the big guy in the mouth or punch the little guy in the mouth and not let them think that they can run over top of each other. Now, those were not the words he used. He used it in a little bit more professional manner. But I realized he actually might be right. Because had I not been bullied, I might not be brave. I might not have been man enough to sign up to join the military. None of my bullies signed up to join the military. Maybe they're smarter, but they're damn sure not braver. Because any time that you got 9 guys on one guy, and then when he brings nunchucks into the fray, and then decides not to use them, and y'all still run, cowardice or smarts. And as they always say, a good run is better than a bad stand. But sometimes you don't have anywhere to run. So you should know your P's and Q's and your A's and B's and 1, 2, 3's. 1, 2, 3. A and B. Assault and battery. Anyway, all jokes aside, no one wants to address bullies. Now, I've been bullied by a girl. Quite a few times, actually. I was bullied in grade school by a girl. Not in middle school, but in high school I was bullied by a girl. In my performing arts class. Her and another friend of hers decided they were going to bully me. Her friend was a boy. So, thank you, Gordy Hay, for keeping me from killing that little light, tall-haired, Flash Gordon-looking motherfucker. Yeah, I still remember you, Matt. I'm not going to put your last name out there. Same thing with Miss Xavier. But I handled her without having to raise a hand. Just a question or two about a couple of cousins, and female problem was solved. I made her know how it feels to be bullied by having girls bully her. Was I in the wrong? Sure I was. You know why I was? Because that only made me just as bad as she is. However, she started it, and my 2 cousins finished it. Because they both told her. He doesn't hit girls, but we're girls, and we hit girls hard. After that, for about 2 weeks, she sweated bullets and begged me to make them stop. And I told her no, because this is how it feels when you can't defend yourself against another gender. But they're girls, and you're a badass. So go be a badass. I bet you can't whoop their ass. And even a badass can get their asses whooped. Remember that. Only human anyway. As for Matt, I only made one threat to him during class. And I told him, and I meant what the hell I said. When you come in that class, if you look in my direction, you better be looking at my feet. Don't look at my face. Don't make eye contact, because I'll graduate at 20. Because I will fuck you up. But again, he started it. Was I in the wrong? Yes. I'll admit I was in the wrong. Why? Because I became what I despise. And as life goes on, I tend to sway more to the things I despise than not. Because sometimes you have to become what you can't stand to combat that disease. In closing, the reason why people don't confront bullying is because no one wants to put the time in. No one wants to sit there and see a kid whine or tears or anything that's important. They would much rather just let it go like a fart in the wind. But you can't do that. We have to address bullying. The only way to stop it is to address it. We have to address racism. The only way to stop it is to address it. I'm James Williams Jr. Just come for having number 2. Be seeing you.